They didn't ask for our permission. We didn't ask for them to spray us. My government used me like I was a guinea pig.
They're waiting us out.
They're waiting on all of us to die.
What if I told you the U.S. government once sprayed a mysterious fog over thousands of its own citizens without ever telling them? This isn't a movie plot. This was North St. Louis in the 1950s, and it happened over a place called Pruitt-Igoe, a predominantly black community. Pruitt-Igoe was a massive housing project built after World War II. 33 high-rise buildings, over 2,800 apartments. Originally, the buildings were designed to be segregated, but shortly after the first residents moved in, the U.S. Supreme Court's Brown v. Board of Education decision and the 1955 ban on formal segregation in federal housing projects forced the St. Louis Housing Authority to lift racial restrictions. When the buildings were integrated, most of the whites moved out. Government funding was cut almost immediately after the buildings were opened. Maintenance fell behind. Elevators broke. Hallways went dark. Within a few years, the buildings were crumbling from the inside out. And during all this, the U.S. Army launched something called Operation Large Area Coverage. They wanted to see how biological weapons might spread across American cities. Their test site? Pruitt-Igoe.
The greatest concentration of this compound was sprayed near the Pruitt-Igoe housing complex just south of downtown St. Louis. It was home to 10,000 low-income people, and an estimated 70% were under the age of 12.
Using motorized blowers on rooftops and even station wagons driving through the streets, the Army released a chemical called Zinc cadmium sulfide into the air. Officials told residents it was just a harmless smokescreen test meant to protect the city from a Soviet attack. But people remember something very different.
The spray was so foul as far as the odor. It made some of us have headaches, nausea, dizziness.
That's what I remember. It made me sick.
It wasn't the weather. It was an eerie smoke descending from rooftops, rolling from the backs of trucks.
Regular flatbed truck, but it had a big machine on the back. And it had a big nozzle that really sprayed a fog you couldn't even see through. It was that thick. And it really, we felt it as it would adhere to our skin. And as far as the guys on top of the buildings, they tried to portray them to us as maintenance workers. But we was like, what is a maintenance worker doing in basically a hazmat suit?
The Army always insisted the chemical compound was safe. Martino Taylor believes documents prove otherwise.
There's a lot of evidence that indicates that people in St. Louis, in the city, particularly in minority communities, were subjected to military tests that was connected to a larger radiological weapons development and testing project.
The Army insisted the powder was safe, but cadmium is now recognized as a probable human carcinogen. Some researchers also believe radioactive materials may have been mixed in, though the government never confirmed that. By the late 1960s, Pruitt-Igoe was declared unlivable. The buildings were abandoned and then demolished. Today, many former residents suffer from rare cancers and chronic respiratory problems.
Martino Taylor claims they all unknowingly inhaled this compound morning, noon, and night, so the government could measure its effects on their lungs.
So this was in violation of all medical ethics, all international codes, and the military's own policy at that time.
I lost my two older siblings to cancer. I lost a brother last month.
I've been diagnosed recently with a rare form of lymphoma.
I had cancer of the left kidney, had partial removal of my left kidney.
They're still fighting for answers, still asking for accountability. They were families living their lives, used as test subjects in their own homes. Did you know this happened? Drop your thoughts in the comments and follow for more Untold History.